It's a place where miracles happen.
I took one step back, went over the edge, and then fell 30 feet to the concrete.
It's a very remarkable injury in the sense that he survived it.
Craig Hospital is full of stories of ordinary people.
My daughter was getting married in the following summer.
Ordinary people whose lives have taken catastrophic turns.
I woke up one morning and I was not able to walk.
And I remember when I was laying there, like I knew something was wrong.
I had two neurologists tell me that the likelihood of me ever walking again was very little.
It's inside these walls that hope is found.
To be able to show people what life looks like a little bit later is really important to me.
That just gave me so much more motivation when you see other people's stories.
Craig makes you not be fearful.
It's here people learn life's challenges don't have to be barriers.
Today we're working on figuring out the best way to deliver a baby from a wheelchair.
When life gets you down and something's difficult, then you just let hope guide the way.
At Craig Hospital, it's about empowering lives one story at a time. Welcome to Craig Hospital. I'm Brian Sanders. The lives of more than 31,000 brain and spinal cord injury patients have been changed at this Englewood hospital. Over the next half hour, we want to share some of those stories with you. Stories of people like mountain biker Danny Soller. On Colorado's mountain bike trails, Danny Soller is known for being aggressive.
Most people call me the Danimal.
Having grown up in Breckenridge, he moved to the western slope for even more adventure.
Being here, there's a bunch of just crazy, gnarly terrain that owns your skills.
Skills he tested last October on the closing day of the summer season at Crested Butte.
I remember every moment, every detail.
Danny and his buddy Joel took a jump, not seeing the tree that had fallen in the path. Danimal hit the tree straight on with his chest.
And I remember when I was laying there, like I knew something was wrong.
He was moving his arms, but he wasn't moving anything below that.
Whitney Hughes remembers the moment doctors told her and her boyfriend's family he was paralyzed.
When he said that, I fell with emotion. I just collapsed, and not because of fear of the injury or what was to come, but how this was going to affect him and his spirit because he's so active.
6 months later, that spirit is still there. Danny and Whitney now live in his parents' house, which was made accessible for Danny's wheelchair before he came home.
We need to widen these doorways. We need to add a ramp. We need to change the bathroom layout. We need to get ready for Danny to come home.
Everything in this whole process costs money.
The Craig Foundation assisted with the renovations, even helping with some of the cost.
There's enough going on with injuries like this. So many things you have to think about. So many changes to life. It's awesome for Craig to have the ability to have a foundation, to have funds available to cover things that would usually, I guess, be an afterthought.
The foundation also provided housing and food when Whitney and her son would come to Denver to visit Danny at Craig and learn what they needed to know to help him.
Craig makes you feel comfortable. Craig makes you feel at home. Craig makes you not be fearful.
Sun's coming out.
Let's go ride bikes.
Bikes? Bikes!
Riding a new set of wheels, Danimal is already back on the bike trails in Grand Junction, getting ready for the next mountain biking season. He has no plans to give up living his life of adventure.
It's just very much spiritual. There's very much a give and a take, and the machine enables you to do a lot of things, but the more you put into it, the more you can get out of it.
Much of the assistance Craig provided to Danny and his family are not things covered by insurance. They're made possible through donations by corporations and foundations and people like you. And it pays for programs and therapy that not only help people achieve their goals, but in many cases literally get them back on their feet. Katie LaSalle shows us how it works.
Coming down, Jim. Until 3 years ago, Jim Stamp's regular workout did not include a contraption like this.
It wasn't a weekend warrior particularly, but I think it was fairly active, especially for a guy in his mid-60s.
Then he woke up one morning, unable to move.
He had no idea what was going on or why it was happening, or how long it was going to last, how temporary it was.
Jim was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome, a rare but serious autoimmune disorder that attacks healthy nerve cells. And the disorder did more than rob Jim of his ability to walk, it threatened to take something else away as well.
If my daughter was getting married in the following summer, I wanted to be able to walk her down the aisle if possible, dance with her at her wedding.
Jim wanted to do that, and so we started with baby steps.
Casey Hudson is Jim's physical therapist at Craig Hospital's Peak Wellness Center.
It's really, him and I working together, me cueing him, making sure that he's not slacking, if you will.
PEAK stands for Performance, Exercise, Attitude, and Knowledge. Here, therapists like Casey help patients not only build upon their current physical abilities, but create a lifelong plan for health and wellness.
I had a lady the other day just telling me for the first time she didn't think about standing up and brushing her teeth, and she just did it independently.
Achieving those goals often means using equipment like the Alter-G. It's an anti-gravity treadmill that allows patients to work on their walking or even running form while only supporting a fraction of their body weight.
Just so I can cue him and show him that his right foot isn't advancing as far as his left.
Jim no longer uses the wheelchair he was in the first day he came to the Peak Center, and soon he hopes to get rid of his crutch and cane too. And as far as that original goal of walking his daughter down the aisle and dancing with her at her wedding, consider it mission accomplished.
Being able to dance with her. I don't believe we left a dry eye in the house.
There are lots of stories like Jim's here at Craig, but they don't all belong to adults. At any given time, there are about a dozen teens in rehab. But unlike the older patients, the teens get the added benefit of doing schoolwork too. Here's Russell Haythorne.
Yeah, it's great to just be free.
Like most high school seniors, Mitch Lukes walks the halls of Ponderosa High with a great deal of confidence. But the student, once called the comeback kid by the student magazine, knows he's lucky to even be back at school after a mountain biking accident in Canada last fall.
I immediately broke my hips, my pelvis, my femur, my L4, and then I also shattered my helmet.
And those were his injuries before he developed complications.
So overnight, I unfortunately developed this syndrome called fat emboli. What it is fat emboli is something where a piece of bone marrow off the broken bone gets embolized in your bloodstream and can be caught in the bloodstream or the lungs and brain.
Mitch spent nearly a week in a coma before he was well enough for doctors to finish repairing all his broken bones, but it was concern about his brain injury that led him here to Craig Hospital, once home in Colorado.
Back then, I didn't really have a lot of hope to continue my recovery, but the therapist there really gave me that hope.
Came for your meeting that we had in this room.
Determined to return to Ponderosa for the second semester and graduate with his class, Mitch began working on his classwork with Laura Magnuson, the school program coordinator with the track program, that's Teen Rehab at Craig.
In Mitch's case, the work that we did, we were working on an English class. It was a natural extension of his speech goals, working on memory, processing, speed, attention, and his language skills.
Teachers with the school program work with about 50 teens every year, providing assistance at both Craig and when they get home.
We reach out to the school team, first of all, open those lines of communication.
Peyton, group 6.
Create an academic plan.
Those plans include accommodations for teens in wheelchairs or on crutches like Mitch was for a while, providing extra class notes for students, or simply giving them permission to wear a hat in class to shield eyes that have become sensitive to light.
In my left eye, I see like kind of Swiss cheese kind of thing.
Go for it, Mitch.
Outings organized by the track program, like this recent archery trip, also give teens a chance to hang out away from the hospital and without their parents.
Yeah, it just gave me so much more motivation when you see other people's stories and what they have done.
I feel successful when I see them just being teenagers and hanging out.
Danielle Scroggs is a rehabilitation therapist who organizes those outings, which are funded in large part by your donations.
We want to offer them a safe environment where they can be rowdy teenagers.
All communication must be completed non-verbally, so no talking.
When classes wrap up this spring, Mitch will graduate with the Ponderosa High School class of 2019. While he knows his accident was life-altering, Mitch says the only thing that has really changed is him.
Yeah, I don't think I will ever be where I was before the incident or the accident. But I think through the people I've met and the experiences I've had, and some of the work I've put in physically and mentally, I definitely am a better person.
The Teen Rehab at Craig program is another benefactor of generous donations, one that has a direct impact on everyone it touches.
It was great to have people I could cope with and just talk to about what's going on.
When you think of connecting with others your age, that is so important. That peer mentorship is very powerful, and that's what the TRACK program provides.
You can help patients like Mitch, Jim, and Danimal by donating to the Craig Foundation. Log on now to thedenverchannel.com/empoweringlives or tune in Monday, April 8th for our Day of Donation here on Denver 7.
It's become very empowering and freeing that I can go where I want to go with my dog with me.
Beth and her dog Jack are familiar faces here at Craig.
I love having him come visit.
Coming up, how this former patient became part of a volunteer team at the hospital.
It is as much therapy for me as it is for them.
And then we'll take you into the basement here at Craig.
The job down here is to make assistant to daily living bits and pieces for the patients.
And meet the engineer who helps get patients back to the things they love to do.
I'm also the warranty department here, so I tend to make things tractor-proof.
When you think of healing, you probably think of doctors, nurses, and therapists. But some of the best healers, especially here at Craig, are not on the payroll. And as Eric Lufer shows us, sometimes they're not even human.
It really stands out in my mind, the feeling of worthlessness.
An active mom who loved to ride horses.
I do have my horses at a barn.
A business owner.
It's important to me.
5 years ago, Beth Mathis woke up unable to breathe. She had had a lung hemorrhage and 2 strokes.
I had 2 neurologists tell me that the likelihood of me ever walking again was very little.
She spent 3 months in the hospital, unsure what her future would be.
I was having a hard time finding my new identity and feeling like I was human again because so much had changed for me.
One day when she was at her lowest, Beth's therapist told her to pet a dog visiting the therapy room. It changed her outlook on everything.
For me, the act of scratching the dog and making the dog respond to me, I realized at that moment that I was who I used to be. I just was different and had to figure out how to let that person out in another way.
With the help of a pup named Jack Daniels, Beth found a way to let that person out.
Just walk this way.
Now fully grown, Jack is trained to be Beth's balance and brace dog, helping her stand and walk. And a couple times a week, he and Beth return to Craig, where they're part of the pet therapy team.
Is it okay if we come in?
Sonia is a stroke patient.
Put it in between your fingers. Let's see. Okay, now we'll tell him to wait and then
Who has challenges similar to ones Beth had to overcome.
We won't make you wait too long.
On her first day at Craig,
And I met this beautiful boy. I love having him come visit. Yeah. He's so fluffy.
she remembers because it was one of a few times she had feeling in both hands.
This hand has full feeling.
It still has full feeling. Yeah, that was how mine was too.
It's an inspiration every day.
Lori Wumeldorf is a therapeutic recreation specialist at Craig. She says it's the unconditional love that animals provide that helps them bond with so many patients.
They don't care if you can't maybe pet them because your hands are weak. They don't care if you can't speak to them because you don't have your voice at the time.
Would you like to say hi to Jack? Is your chair off?
Yeah, oh no, sorry.
Jack will drive it.
Yeah, yeah.
For patients like Richard, who lived in California before coming to Craig,
I love Jack, he's so good.
the biggest connection to animals like Jack is simply that they are a reminder of what's at home.
Like, I miss my dog so much, and I saw him, and it just really gives me a good feeling.
It's become very empowering and freeing that I can go where I want to go with my dog with me.
Jack helped Beth find her new purpose in life. Together, they're empowering others to find their new directions.
Oh, hi, you pretty puppy.
To be able to show people what life looks like a little bit later is really important to me.
Sometimes it takes more than physical therapy to get someone back to work or back to the activities they enjoy. When a little extra help is needed, Craig's Rehab Engineering Department jumps into action. Here's Lisa Hidalgo.
Push, push, breathe out.
Practice makes perfect,
Big breath, one more push.
even when you're a doctor.
8, 9, 10. Blow it out.
Which is why Dr. Mike Welch is practicing childbirth in this simulation lab at McKee Medical Center.
Okay, take a breath, gently, easy, easy, gentle pushes.
But a safe, healthy delivery isn't the only challenge this doctor needs to overcome.
Today we're working on figuring out the best way to deliver a baby from a wheelchair.
Dr. Welch has no control over the lower trunk of his body.
Not having the core stability, I can't do it. Lean forward to deliver the baby. I'd fall forward. And that is not a place you want to be when you're delivering a baby.
I looked at it, and that's pretty much like a car hood. Basically, just needed a prop.
Dave Burkle is the rehab engineer at Craig Hospital. His workshop is in the basement.
The job down here is to make assistant to daily living bits and pieces for the patients.
Dave worked with Dr. Welch and his therapist to develop a simple portable device that would give the doctor the support he needs during childbirth and other procedures.
And it just slides in, locks in place, and I can lean forward and use all the force that I have to deliver the baby.
All he has to do to get out of the deal is sit up and put it in his backpack and done.
Dave's been helping patients at Craig overcome obstacles for more than 20 years.
The phone's there. They can put their mouse stick there, grab the mouse stick.
He says cell phones, tablets, and other devices have really changed the playing field for those with disabilities.
15 years ago, it was real expensive to get a house set up, and now with Alexa or some of these other units, you just talk and
Alexa,
it does what, it'll get what you're looking for done.
You know, you're always coming up with ideas and ways, how can you enable and empower these individuals to continue to do the things that they want to do.
Physical therapists like Jennifer Layton say injuries do not need to define a person's capabilities.
There's absolutely ways that you can work around any injury or impairment to make it absolutely 100% possible for these people to do any job that a non-injured human being could do.
Dr. Welch says he's found many uses for the T-bar that Dave created for him, but the thing he's looking forward to the most is using it in childbirth.
It's the miracle of life, and I'm really glad I get to have the opportunity to participate in it.
While many of the items engineered at Craig are simple, others take much more ingenuity and creativity, and it pays off big in patient benefit. All made possible thanks to the generosity of people just like you. When we come back, a teen's summer job takes a tragic twist.
I took one step back, went over the edge, and fell 30 feet to the concrete.
How the staff at Craig Hospital helped Samson fight back and empowered him along the road to college.
I have grown to live a normal life here in college.
Talk to any patient here at Craig Hospital and you'll hear a remarkable story of defying incredible odds after a catastrophic injury. Nicole Brady introduces us to a college student who is now changing the lives of others after a life-changing experience of his own.
This is really clean.
Yeah, we try and keep it clean.
The college life.
The red solo cuffs.
Not too bad. There you go. The friends,
There I am.
fraternity, and promise of a future.
Right now I'm primarily in business courses.
All of that was nearly taken from Samson Briggs just weeks after he graduated from high school.
For my summer job, I was just working construction, landscaping work with my school that I had graduated from, and they had me get in the roof to remove old roofing material. And on June 15th, 2015 is the day that I was removing that old roofing material, and then some of the roofing material busted free. I took one step back, went over the edge, and fell 30 feet to the concrete.
The paramedics arrived on scene with a body bag. This is how Samson's family first saw him: broken bones and a swelling brain.
It's a very remarkable injury in the sense that he survived it. And it was after a couple of weeks when we knew he was going to survive and he emerged to a more conscious state that he came to Craig.
Surviving a traumatic brain injury means learning to live a new life after it. That's where Samson's journey with Craig Hospital began.
My whole staff at Craig Hospital is very hopeful. Very supportive of me. And from day one, I remember them building up my work ethic and passion towards getting back to what I now call a normal lifestyle.
Samson's story is an example of what thousands of people have to deal with. It was more than learning to walk again. It was more than learning to talk again. In order for him to define his new life, he had to get back his loving relationships with people. He had to get his personality and emotional style back.
It's always fun to get a haircut because then everyone's like, how'd you get this scar? And I'm like, oh, buckle up, I got a 15-minute story for you.
He had to get back to things that he loved and was interested in.
For Samson, the love and personality never left him, but things were different.
Yeah, I grew up playing football.
He had to find new sports to enjoy, and he discovered a new passion, promoting workplace safety for workers twice his age.
So moving on, let's talk a little bit about falling.
And despite some ongoing challenges, Samson wanted to have that normal college experience.
I have grown to live a normal life here in college, what I now call normal, which I've really enjoyed it. I've really loved Colorado State University. I'm very happy that I've been here the last 3 years.
For families dealing with the sudden life changes brought about by brain or spinal cord injuries, the assistance provided by the Craig Foundation both during and after their time at the hospital is invaluable. Just ask Danny and Whitney, the couple we introduced you to a little bit earlier.
Everything about this is hard, and to have the ability to not have to worry about some things, whether it's financial burdens or equipment burdens or anything that takes less of the worry out, or to help me be successful.
The assistance that the Craig Foundation was able to provide us kept us from jumping out into a world full of fear and the life that it's kind of given us. I mean, it's giving us another shot at life.
If you've been inspired to lend a hand, you can log on right now to thedenverchannel.com/empoweringlives or tune in to Denver 7 all day tomorrow for our day of donation. From all of us at Denver 7 and here at Craig Hospital, we want to thank you for joining us for these stories from our Colorado.